How's it going? It's Colin Daniel from riffninja.com, here to give you a little taste of what you're going to learn on my new strumming course. And if you want to find out more about it, it's at riffninja.com/strumming. I want to talk about a little bit of a moving bass line using 4 chords: C, F, and G, and A minor. C, F, and G is 1, 4, and 5. A minor is the relative minor. We're going to put them together into a chord progression. Now, there's a couple options that you have here, and I'll talk about them as I move through, because if you're physically limited because you can't play a bar chord, I'll discuss working around the bar chord too and tell you why I've chosen these chords and why I like to do it the way I do it. For example, one of the first things is when I start out with the C chord, I like to alternate. I'd like to go back and forth. So I'll play a C with a G, and I'll go C root first, because the root note is always the lowest note related to what the chord was built on. If you're in a C chord, even though the G note, the low G, still belongs in your chord, it's still part of the chord, it's not the root. The C is the root. Now some players just move the 3rd finger back and forth and skip the 5th string. So I use my 3rd finger first, I hit the root note, then I go over to the G chord, and I just mute that 5th string here because I don't use it. Otherwise it would sound pretty bad. I just skip over it, but you could also mute it with this finger a bit. I prefer the C over G, a C/G chord when I'm doing that. So that's for the C chord. Then the A minor chord, that's fairly straightforward. So it's going to go C and then A minor, and then G major. I like the G major with the extra 3rd finger here on the 2nd string. You can play the G whatever way you like. I definitely like to have the G chord with my 2nd finger on the 6th string to get that low G root bass note there. So I'm going to go C, A minor, C, A minor, G, F, back to G and C, like that. That's the order. Now I'm going to hit root notes every time. I'm going to go C root note, then A root note, then G root note, then F root note. Now when you get to the F, you have a choice. Full bar, like this. Now Jimmy played his chord with the thumb wrapped around, and I have a really hard time with it, but if you have a big hand, you could do that instead of the full bar. For those of you that are more limited skill-wise, you can make the F chord as simple as just using your 1st finger to bar the 2nd and 1st string, like what I'm doing right now. Then your root is changed, and that's why I don't like this chord as much if I'm using bass lines, because now I'd have to go. You hear that F root note is on my 4th string, but I really want it on my 6th string. It still works, and it's not wrong, and it still sounds okay. So it still works, but it's not as good, right? There's F like this, and there's F with the pinky, and that's got a low C chord, which if you're alternating, that's got a low C bass note. That's all right. I prefer the bar though, like this, the full bar, because I can still get the C, and I've still got the higher root if I want, so I can alternate. So that's 6th string, 5th string, 4th string, 5th string. You know, so there's more alteration option to alter it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a passing over. This is a trick that's really common in a lot of famous chord progressions. So I'm going to play the C chord, then I'm going to move my 2nd finger up and catch the 2nd string, the 2nd fret, 5th string. So I'm going to go full C chord, then 2nd fret, 5th string with my 2nd finger, right? And when I do that, I'm still going to play the bottom 3 strings. So that's the 3rd, 2nd, and 1st string. That still gives me a C chord. So this is C major, then this is a C major / B bass. There's my B bass. Now A, the A open 5th string, which is my A open root. Then I'm going to go to the G, strike, and it's just One bass note, one strum. So C major, then the C root, then the bass, you know, the C bass note, then the strum. Now the B bass note over the C major. When you strum that C major, make that one, because you don't want to hear the fourth string, because the fourth string doesn't belong in there anymore. But just strum the third, second, and first strings. So again, now the A minor, now the G major, now the F major, back to the G major, C major, and that's the C major with a G bass. Now what I did here is add an extra down up. So instead of just going, but start this way, go bass pluck then down, bass pluck then down, bass pluck then down, bass pluck then down, bass pluck down, bass pluck down, bass down, bass down. So in the end it sounds. Okay, now if you've got that, then you add an upstroke to it like this. Same bass notes. The trick is to get that nice and smooth. Doesn't that sound good? Well, I hope this has been really informative and it keeps you out of trouble. You know, idle hands will get you in trouble, so keep the fingers moving. If you want to find out more about my strumming course, it's riffninja.com/strumming, and I hope this has helped you out a lot. Take care and happy playing.